In the heart of Jabalpur, India, a city pulsing with life and secrets, the night of July 25th, 2019, was shattered by a sound that chilled the soul, a dog's eerie howl echoing through the quiet streets of Majoli. In a modest home, Vikram Dixit, a revered spiritual guide, lived with his family, trusted by thousands who believed in his mystical powers. But that night, something sinister unfolded. Vikram, his wife Priya, their daughter Nisha, and their son Arjun were brutally murdered, their bodies hidden in a shallow grave in their own backyard. The police uncovered a chilling clue. A crimson cloth, said to hold a powerful relic, was missing from a locked trunk. Was this relic, rumored to grant supernatural abilities, the motive for this gruesome crime? Or was it a deadly illusion, a trap set to mislead? Welcome to the Crime O'Clock, where we unravel the darkest mysteries. Tonight, we dive into a case where obsession, betrayal, and a single stone tore a family apart. Could a simple relic spark such horror? Or is the truth even darker? If you're ready to uncover the secrets of the Crimson Relic, smash that like button and subscribe to the Crime O'Clock for gripping true crime stories every week. Drop a comment below. What would you do if you stumbled on a relic said to hold mystical power? Let's get this mystery ticking. Jabalpur, a vibrant city in central India, is known for its marble cliffs and bustling markets, but in the quiet suburb of Majoli, a horrific crime shook the community to its core. Vikram Dixit was no ordinary man. To his followers, he was a Tantric, a spiritual guide, something like a psychic or guru in American terms, who claimed to wield powers drawn from years of meditation and a mysterious relic wrapped in a crimson cloth. People came from far and wide, seeking his help with everything from financial woes to family disputes. But on that fateful night, Vikram's home became a crime scene. Neighbors reported hearing a dog's chilling howl, a sound that seemed to carry an ominous weight. When police arrived days later, after a concerned relative raised the alarm, they found the unthinkable. Vikram, his wife Priya, their 22-year-old daughter Nisha, and their 18-year-old son Arjun had been brutally murdered. Their bodies were buried in a shallow grave in the backyard, hidden under freshly turned earth. The police, led by Inspector Sanjay Patel and his sharp deputy, Officer Meera Sharma, began piecing together the puzzle. The house had been ransacked, with cash and jewelry missing from a locked closet. But the most intriguing clue was a small trunk in Vikram's study, still locked, but missing its most prized possession, a crimson cloth said to contain a relic of immense power. For American listeners, think of this relic like a talisman or a mythical artifact, something akin to the Holy Grail, believed to grant its owner spiritual dominance. Vikram's disciples, Lakshya and Dev, two young men training under him, told police they'd seen the crimson cloth from afar, but never up close. They claimed Vikram alone could unlock the trunk, using a key he kept tied to his waist. The relic, they said, was gone, and its absence pointed to a motive wrapped in mystery. Inspector Patel's team quickly zeroed in on suspects. First was Anand Dixit, Vikram's younger brother, a small business owner who ran a hardware store in Jabalpur. Anand and Vikram had been locked in a bitter dispute over their ancestral home, a property now worth millions in Jabalpur's booming real estate market. Anand claimed he had no idea about the relic, but his evasive answers raised red flags. Could he have orchestrated the crime to secure the house? Next was Gopal Sharma, a former disciple of Vikram's who'd left to start his own tantric practice in nearby Kutni, a smaller town an hour away. Gopal was rumored to be jealous of Vikram's success and desperate for the relic to boost his own following. Lakshya and Dev hinted that Gopal might know more than he let on, but they too were suspects. Could these loyal disciples have betrayed their mentor for the relic's power? And then there was Ravi Malhotra, a local street vendor who sold parathas and omelets near Majoli's highway. At first, he seemed unconnected, but whispers of his shady dealings kept him on the radar. The police were stumped by another detail, the howling dog. A neighbor, Rohit, described it as scary, almost unnatural, heard the night of the murders. In Indian culture, a dog's howl at night is often seen as a bad omen, and Vikram, deeply superstitious, would have taken it seriously. Was this sound a coincidence, or a deliberate lure? The investigation was just beginning, but one thing was clear. This wasn't a random robbery. Whoever committed this crime knew the Dixit family intimately. So, who's your top suspect so far, Anand, fighting over the family home? Gopal, the rival Tantric, or maybe Lakshya and Dev, the disciples with secrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's see if you can crack this case before the police do. Inspector Sanjay Patel sat at his desk in Jabalpur's police station, the weight of the case pressing on him like a monsoon storm. He'd seen his share of crimes, but this one haunted him. Vikram Dixit wasn't just a victim. He was a pillar of the community, a man who gave hope to the desperate, even if his methods raised eyebrows. The image of Nisha and Arjun, so young, buried alongside their parents, kept Sanjay awake at night. Officer Meera Sharma felt it too, a quiet rage at the brutality, especially the violation of Priya and Nisha after death. This wasn't just murder, Meera told Sanjay, her voice tight. It was personal, a message. The team's resolve hardened, but the clues were maddeningly elusive. They started with Anand Dixit, Vikram's estranged brother, whose hardware store in Jabalpur's market was a front for his bitterness. Anand's eyes were heavy with grief when questioned, but there was something else, resentment that had festered for years. Vikram was the golden child, he said, his voice cracking. Our parents adored him, while I scrubbed floors to keep the family afloat. The ancestral home, worth 30 lakh rupees, about $40,000, was his breaking point. Anand admitted to heated arguments, shouting matches that neighbors overheard, but he swore he'd never kill his own blood. That relic? A joke, he scoffed. Vikram conned people with that stone, and I called him out for it. But his dismissal felt too polished, too rehearsed. Why hadn't he mentioned the crimson cloth when police asked about the trunk? And why did he dodge questions about the key tied to Vikram's waist? Sanjay's gut told him Anand was hiding something, but grief or guilt? That was the question. The investigation shifted to Gopal Sharma in Kutni, an hour's drive from Jabalpur. Gopal's small tantric practice was thriving, but his voice trembled when police arrived. I'm being framed, he insisted, sweat beading on his forehead. Lakshya and Dev are lying to protect someone, maybe Anand. Gopal's past with Vikram was a wound that hadn't healed. He'd come to Vikram years ago, broken by a factory layoff and his father's stroke, desperate for a lifeline. Vikram had given him purpose, teaching him the art of tantric rituals, but their bond soured when Gopal struck out on his own. Vikram was jealous, Gopal said, his eyes flashing with hurt. He couldn't stand me taking his clients. When pressed about the Crimson Relic, Gopal's defiance wavered. I saw the cloth once years ago, he admitted. Vikram said it held power only he could wield. I didn't care about it. But his quick deflection, pointing to Lakshya and Dev, felt desperate, like a man drowning in his own lies. Lakshya and Dev, Vikram's young disciples, were next. The two sat in the police station, their faces pale, their hands fidgeting. They'd idolized Vikram, seen him as a father figure, but now they were suspects in his murder. We didn't touch the relic, Lakshya whispered, his voice thick with emotion. We only saw the crimson cloth from a distance, during rituals. Dev nodded, his eyes red from sleepless nights. Master kept it locked away. He said it was sacred, that only he could handle it. But their delay in mentioning the relic's absence puzzled Meera. Were they scared, loyal, or covering their tracks? The thought that these young men, barely out of their teens, could betray their mentor for a supposed talisman twisted Sanjay's stomach. They're hiding something, Meera said quietly. But is it fear or guilt? The howling dog gnawed at Sanjay's mind. In Indian culture, it's a bad omen, a warning of death or disaster. Vikram, steeped in superstition, would have rushed outside to chase it away. Meera interviewed neighbors again, their voices heavy with fear as they recalled the unnatural howl. It wasn't a stray, one said, her hands trembling. It was like a ghost calling. The community was unraveling, whispers of curses spreading like wildfire. For American listeners, think of it like a horror movie trope, a sound designed to terrify, to pull someone into a trap. Was this a calculated move by someone who knew Vikram's fears? The precision of the crime, no fingerprints, no bodily fluids, just a locked trunk and buried bodies, pointed to an insider. But who? Other leads fizzled. Nisha's boyfriend, Arnav, a college student, was devastated, his voice breaking as he described their dreams of a future together. "I was studying that night," he said, tears streaming. Classmates confirmed his alibi, but his grief was a reminder of the ripple effect of loss. Suraj Gupta, a local thug, bragged about the murders, his words dripping with venom over a past slight from Vikram. He thought he was untouchable. Suraj sneered, but no evidence linked him to the scene. Sanjay checked for professional hitmen, scouring Jabalpur and beyond, but the crime's intimacy ruled out hired killers. The relic, described as a stone from Vikram's meditations in Madhya Pradesh's forests, loomed large. To Americans, it's like a cursed artifact hyped beyond reason, but to Gopal, Lakshya, and Dev, it was a symbol of power. Was it the key, or a distraction? Is the Crimson Relic driving this crime? Or is it masking a deeper betrayal? Hit that subscribe button and tell us in the comments what you'd do next if you were leading this investigation. 3 weeks passed, and the case was a heavy weight on Inspector Sanjay Patel's shoulders. He barely slept, haunted by the image of the Dixit family's shallow grave. Meera Sharma, usually unshakable, confided in him late one night, her voice low. "This case is eating me alive," she said. "Whoever did this didn't just kill. They erased a family, mocked their dignity." The sexual assaults on Priya and Nisha, committed after death, were a wound that cut deep, a violation that fueled Meera's determination. The community felt it too. Majoli streets were quieter, neighbors glancing over their shoulders, whispering about the relic's curse. "Vikram helped us," one woman sobbed to Meera. "Now we're afraid to trust anyone." The pressure was mounting, and every dead end, Anand's denials, Gopal's deflections, Suraj's empty boasts, felt like a personal failure. Then a spark of hope. Nathu, a wiry police informant with eyes in Jabalpur's underworld, brought a lead. "Kalpesh is flashing cash," he said, his voice urgent. "Gambling 10,000 rupees, $130, big money for a lowlife like him." Kalpesh, a known fence, was dragged into the station, his bravado crumbling under Sanjay's glare. "I didn't kill anyone," Kalpesh pleaded, his hands shaking. "I sold jewelry for a guy named Ravi Malhotra. One piece, a silver glass, had Vikram Dixit carved on it. The jewelry, worth 5 lakh rupees, about $6,500, was a match for the Dixit family's stolen goods. Sanjay's heart raced. This was the break they needed. But Kalpesh's fear was palpable, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Ravi's not just some vendor. He's got connections. I didn't ask questions, I just took the cash." Ravi Malhotra's food stall on Majoli's highway was a local fixture, serving parathas till 2 a.m. When police cornered him, Ravi's easy smile faded, his eyes darting like a trapped animal. "I didn't kill them," he stammered, his voice breaking under Meera's relentless questioning. I made the dog sound." A dog sound. The revelation hit like a thunderbolt. Ravi admitted to mimicking a howl, knowing Vikram's superstition would pull him outside. "It was Gopal's plan," he confessed, his hands trembling. "Gopal Sharma. He wanted the relic, said it'd make him unstoppable." Ravi's guilt was raw. He hadn't wielded the knife, but he'd helped bury the bodies, his conscience gnawing at him every night since. Gopal Sharma's arrest was a showdown. In Kutni, police found him at his modest altar, surrounded by desperate clients seeking miracles. His defiance melted when confronted with Ravi's testimony and the engraved silver glass. "It wasn't supposed to go this far," Gopal whispered, his voice hollow. His story poured out, laced with shame and obsession. Years ago, Gopal was a broken man, jobless after a factory layoff, his father bedridden, his hope gone. Vikram had been his savior, teaching him Tantric rituals, giving him purpose. But when Gopal built his own following in Kutni, Vikram turned cold. "You're stealing my clients," Vikram had raged, his words cutting deep. "I'll curse you back to nothing." Gopal's fear of that curse consumed him, his dreams plagued by visions of failure. "I thought the relic was his power," Gopal said, tears welling. "I thought it could save me." The night of the murders was a descent into darkness. Gopal, driven by fear and envy, planned it with chilling precision. He knew Vikram's superstition about howling dogs, a belief rooted in Indian lore that Americans might compare to a fear of black cats or broken mirrors. Ravi's howl lured Vikram outside, where Gopal struck. The family was next. Priya, Nisha, and Arjun killed to silence them, their deaths a brutal necessity in Gopal's twisted mind. The post-mortem assaults were his final act of dominance, a sick attempt to prove his power, carried out with calculated care to leave no trace. They looted the cash and jewelry, buried the bodies, and took the crimson cloth. When Gopal opened it, his world collapsed. "A stone," he muttered, his voice breaking. "Just a stone." He'd burned the cloth, hoping to erase his shame, but the weight of his actions crushed him. The community's grief was palpable. At a memorial in Majali, neighbors wept for Vikram's kindness, Priya's warmth, Nisha's dreams, and Arjun's potential. "They didn't deserve this," a shopkeeper told Meera, his voice choked. Sanjay and Meera felt the same, their relief at solving the case tempered by the loss. "We got justice," Sanjay said quietly, "but it doesn't bring them back." Gopal's confession shocked you, didn't it? Or did you see his obsession coming from a mile away? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's see how many of you picked the right suspect. Gopal Sharma and Ravi Malhotra were arrested, charged under India's penal code for murder, rape, and tampering with evidence. Gopal, the mastermind, faced the consequences of his delusion, his belief in a worthless stone leading to 4 deaths. Ravi, the accomplice, was complicit in the theft and cover-up, his greed pulling him into a nightmare. The police's persistence, Sanjay's sleepless nights, Meera's quiet fury, Nathu's gritty leads, cracked the case. The engraved silver glass, a small token of Vikram's life, was the key that unlocked the truth. Anand Dixit, cleared of suspicion, mourned his brother, his anger giving way to sorrow. Lakshya and Dev, shaken by their mentor's fate, swore off the Tantric path, their faith shattered. This case is more than a crime. It's a warning about the dangers of blind faith. In India, Tantrics like Vikram hold sway, promising hope to the desperate. For our American listeners, think of those charismatic figures, psychics, cult leaders, or influencers, who sell miracles with charm and confidence. The Crimson Relic was a lie, a stone hyped into a myth, yet it drove Gopal to destroy a family. The real power lies in us, in our ability to question, to think critically, to trust our own strength. The Dixit family's tragedy is a stark reminder. Don't let fear or false promises cloud your judgment. Vikram, Priya, Nisha, and Arjun deserved better than to be victims of one man's obsession. Their memory calls us to be vigilant, to seek truth, and to hold fast to our own resilience. At the Crime O'Clock, we tell these stories to honor the victims and learn from their pain. The Dixit family's loss is a wound that lingers, but their story can inspire us to live smarter, stronger, and safer. If this case gripped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more true crime mysteries every week. Want to support our work? Check out our Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. And one last question. What's the creepiest true crime story you've ever heard? Share it in the comments. We might cover it next. Until then, keep the clock ticking, stay safe, and let truth be your guide.